Take it easy.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand?
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual...
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read.
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna? Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Great! Let's go find out what this...
All right, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Oh, you're the
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe it?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about...
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we...
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatara Suna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatara Suna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatara Suna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, apart from the sword maker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatara Suna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kinda fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew any—
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned even back then, Tatara Suna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in the story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the detail.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents.
Get to the point. For people.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do.
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you just.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about.
Oh, and please read my essay draft. Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think... Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival
Wait! You're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting...
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay!
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about. Okay, then even if we did know something about it, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is... If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Take it easy.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the Balladeer. Did he escape or...
Sure enough. You're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui. And also, so as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility...
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And...
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole... You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely... It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about... Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just does... I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. As Sumeru's deity,
It is my responsibility to be on guard against the balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, if this deal with the balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, it's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero.
Paimon's still worried about this idea.
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assign. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Prepare yourselves.
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because...
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be... I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine, let's call it truce, but only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiate...
Is this a small set? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh! Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he said?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close.
Hey, so... say we... what are you smirking?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
connection. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must...
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're...
Traveler, Paimon. Yes, I've also invited Paimon.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus,
Paimon's never tried this before. Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking...
as I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart in it. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained.
Oh? How interesting. Those two men...
So the Genshin got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved. Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of... Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in
Wait! How did you know about...
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation, huh?
This light... It looks similar to...
Anonymous data.
Hey! Don't you forget the agreement! You have...
Shh!
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed, their lives have purpose, they are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by—
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma, and it has been—
So you say, Escher. But is this—
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want— What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue, and recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor— Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly—
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you?
Judging from the look in your eyes—
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like you're— I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. At least for the first few days. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confer— And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity. And what I see...
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only it is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to you. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for...
If you give him my... He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest...
Hey!
Dottore. Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic? But why did we see things from him?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means.
What's give him some space. He looks really...
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor...
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult so now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to... The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his... The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep...
Hey, aren't you investigating?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What?
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone!
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out!
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Oh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Sorry to interrupt, everyone. We finally have some real dream experts joining us. Esteemed experts, this way, please.
They must be dream. Oh, I have a question.
No rush.
Whoa, Paimon didn't expect them to be so enthusiastic.
My question is simple. My everyday life is very difficult, so I would like to become a slime in my dreams. How can I do that?
Paimon knows! Paimon's had this kind of dream before, so she knows a thing or two. The first time, Paimon became an animo slime. Paimon was shot by an adventurer's arrow and flew in the sky all night long. The second time, the third time, and the fourth time, but then the board...
Wait, why did all of your dreams end...
Because slimes are monsters, even though they look cute, they usually cause trouble and end up... Things don't tend to end well for monsters. Believe Paimon.
I suppose you're right. I just want to experience a different life, but it seems that maybe I'd be happier if I became...
Looks like being an expert is way next!
Oh, it's my turn. Esteemed expert, I want to know what posture I should...
Well? Hey, you're supposed to be helping. First, why don't don't you tell Paimon about the dream you want to have again?
Oh, it's...
Why don't you just find your wife and talk with her? There's no need to wait for a dream.
Well, unfortunately, she passed away.
Oh!
No, it's fine. I didn't make that clear. I just want a chance to see her again.
Yeah, it's not really about posture. What you think about right before falling asleep is probably way more important.
Oh, is that all I have to do?
Think about it. If you're the one thinking about it.
You do have a...
Oh, my turn, my turn. I want to know the name of the plant in my dream.
I want to bring the souvenir box to my room into my dream.
I dreamt of a raven flying over the wasteland last night. Does that have any kind of special meaning?
Hey, no rush! One at a time! Their questions were way too difficult. We don't actually know anything more than they do. We're just more experienced dreamers, that's all. You do have a point. Right now, these people are like wanderers who've starved for 3 days and 3 nights and are desperate to replenish their energy. Any explanation they get now... Oh, and now that Paimon has said that, you know who comes to mind? Bingo! Unfortunately...
Dear experts, we have another
but...
My question is, why didn't you immediately tell me about some...
Huh?
Interesting events? Anyway.
Oh, right! If there's...
You're not... Huh? What's wrong? You were all so excited a minute ago. Even so, it's not like I look super intimidating or anything, right? And in terms of reputation and renown, you've also done many great things in Sumeru, yet they didn't even flinch at you. Alas.
That's not true, Nahida.
I don't want to get in the way of the original purpose of a Moment of Dreams, which is to let people gather here and freely share their mark. Now the atmosphere. I just want it to be another drop in the water, not the cold and restrictive container.
She's sulking. Hey! It's all right, everyone! No need to be shy.
All right. I'll give it a try.
Oh, it's this...
Hey, drop the...
I see.
I guess I just... The sky is...
So you want to...
Because by the time this all...
But if that's the reason is you've all...
Really?
I don't know everything.
Huh?
That's right.
Well, of course, come to think of...
You should replace it. Then decorate the handle with some...
That makes sense. I think it'd give me a good boost of energy at work.
A new sense of adventure often begins with the little things in life. You don't need to become a...
Yes. Yes, I get it now. This is a real eye-opener for me. I'll go and pick out a new hammer right away. No, I should make one of my own. Thank you, Great Dendro Archon.
That's our Nahida. Only you would know how to get right to the heart of the problem.
Actually, I didn't really understand the problem.
Huh?
I gave him that advice because I once saw a worker doing the same thing. After a moment, he'd start to smile. It really surprised me at the time. My guess is that the names on the handle were of important people to him. Is it because...
Oh, Paimon gets what you mean.
That's why I was a bit nervous just now. But Luckoo, don't mind me though. This is just my way of learning.
Hey, don't forget about Paimon. Everyone knows that Paimon's also super skilled at reading people's feet.
Thanks, you two. That makes me feel a lot better.
I already asked the experts my question earlier, but I wanted to hear the What should I do?
Longing for the deceased. Even if you keep reliving those beautiful memories, it'll only highlight the emptiness in your real life. If your wife were still alive, she certainly...
No, I suppose not. But our time together in my dreams is not just reliving our past together. I don't know. Maybe it's because I miss her too much. But it's really as if she had come back to life in my dreams. She even remembers each and every dream. After I wake up and then continue dreaming again later, we can pick up our conversation right where we last left off.
That's really amazing. Statistically...
It's almost as if my wife has obtained a...
Maybe all of the... Were there any
I don't know. I really felt...
But dreams are. It's not good...
Yes. And it's
I'm a little worried about him. I hope he can find a way to cheer up soon. I think I can handle things from here. You don't need to stay here if you find it boring. You're here to have a good time, after all.
These parts are safe for sure. Why isn't it working? I don't get it.
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Why isn't it working? I don't get it.
Are you feeling any better now?
Yes. Now that I think about it, I know where that place exists, but at the same time, I feel as if Otherwise, once I can stop actually...
Yeah, even if you can't...
Yeah.
Alright, go! Huh? Wait!
I just finished. Anyway...
Oh, there's no...
No need to stand on sick. I wanted to use this...
Huh?
I'm not all that...
For a leisurely stroll.
Huh. Do adventurers often? Huh.
So, this is where you always...
Yes. For when I saw her in my dreams, we didn't do anything but talk about ordinary, mundane topics. I'd tell her about our daughter, Haidar, and she always listened intently. She would also reminisce. It feels like no matter...
Sometimes.
This is the part. I am very familiar with dreams, and normally, they lack luck, but you said she could...
That's right. She always listened to me carefully, and she always surprised...
Whoa. However, for example, another example, but the appearance...
I don't understand it either. But I have no reason to suspect or...
But... Let's go. This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with.
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbance...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no... So... Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Ermin's... There's no way he'll... There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what... Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But... So... How about... we list all our favorite... Alright, Paimon will start. First, Andrean Chili... Oh! Also, Adeptus Temptation, go... Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon's... Is that a food, too? What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the balladeer. Is that someone's his name? Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay?
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans, most of the great swordsmith clans of old, but fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the... If my memory serves me right, you...
Oh, yeah, we were! We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too.
That, my friends, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. Oh, he told me that, as we are both heirs to a brand, there is no harm in telling you. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And overseeing, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphan son was left to in his heart. The whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy, alas. If only the story could have ended there. Finally, in his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt... That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. They're up on to the next step. Lead...
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kami...
Are they out on...
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the commission.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But...
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there some... Of course, what would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy. As for the Commissioner himself...
So pretty much business as usual.
Very much...
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so... I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken... I mean, whenever the Commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always... They say it's because Toma's a much better... They get to talking about you sometimes, too, you know. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. It's been many years now since the late... As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched... So... In the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are all wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, Paimon's itching to try it. We may...
Of course.
All right, goodbye for now. We're... great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see...
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's...
Very well. Safe...
Easy.
Well, here we are.
Do my eyes deceive me?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now...
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Not only that, but I've met people in Ina's... Oh, well, I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation.
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then, too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations...
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were...
Me neither. Paimon
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around, but sadly, I've... Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you. Come on, you gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? You can't go facing life's challenges on an empty stomach. All right, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment...
We have time.
It's the same topic we discussed last...
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we...
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh?
I presume you'll want to read my...
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler, remember how last time...
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well, so it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Armanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do. Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon.
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up
The balladeer? You look troubled. Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look...
That's quite a so, this puppet known as the balladeer,
But how is he...
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeat. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality. So, you believe this person really existed? Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible the traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about her in Earth. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past...
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer...
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have he couldn't keep hating humans after that. And the story makes sense. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase him.
Yeah. It does make sense. It just feels so hopeless. He gave...
Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have this...
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record.
Huh? You wrote a fairy...
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's
Hold on. So this record's...
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono and other... Changing the information... But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance.
That's incredible!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer... This story is abstract enough that it still rests, but if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story... There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to... Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wondering how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the balladeer's story. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that Paimon has no memory of him at all.
The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the before he vanished. He confirmed an important detail. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was—
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find that when you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward, and that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get—
Good idea. Paimon.
You got it. Come on, Traveler. You need— Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up. What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat. What is it? Have you... Why'd you jump up?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look,
Leave it to me. I'll find some more.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want to wait. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those...
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of...
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer... Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with? You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met? No, we haven't met. I have no recollection.
Are you
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
a puppet?
Huh?
You were right.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not... Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down... Okay, but please let me
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more...
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart.
That's oddly nice.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you.
Then let's return to the city.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really went and picked...
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss.
I was just about to pay you anyway.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me, but look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world. Imagine you and me for a second. It's a... But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of
Thank you. All right, done.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in the...
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, but these two claim that they know me. And that I have...
I wouldn't call it the past, but I don't like to rely on using terms like this often.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes. Something far more...
Okay, I have to ask. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please.
Is truth something you...
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had.
In terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like...
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to...
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our... He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that every...
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memory...
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your present self...
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's...
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on the...
Oh, good point. Given your,
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like Ina...
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that...
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to...
Alright. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation...
Is that because...
You could say...
I hear
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The crystal... No, there's no way. Look at this There's someone...
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? Not a scratch.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichio's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer,
and the rest is history.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as the second-in-command at Tatarasuna. Responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Take it easy.
Huh? What are we doing back here?
Whoa, this is where you were born?
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever. This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child.
What happened to the child?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer...
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others.
The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
This isn't good. That seemed to work.
Access denied.
Shine down! Into it, be a killjoy! We've only just begun.
Quietly now.
Time to fulfill my
This is
duty.
long overdue.
Nope. Flapping off.
You can't run! Well, can I miscalculated.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the Delusion Factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being
What a sharp Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give...
The plot does not end here. There's...
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Are you here to play with me? Let me amuse myself a little. All hail!
Leaving so soon!
The merrier!
You can't run from death!
Let me amuse myself, assistants.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible, in the event that
Nothing worse than what I've been through before.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the Abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche.
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the...
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past, If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever, can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that—
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. As a puppet living in a human world,
regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to—
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to—
Very well. Since your mind is made up, you have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned. Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my... You alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
Got any more questions?
Perish!
At my command, you shall fall! That's far enough! Feet! Human, know your place. Too slow. Behold.
My endless cycle begins!
The wind rises.
Feeble human!
Unsightly insects. Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're dead weight. But it was you inside that thing too.
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned, but don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change...
The memory recovery seems to have been a success.
Come on. Let's continue.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the Sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile.
But that doesn't mean your own past has...
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes. And I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers.
I'm glad you're able to think, Traveler. In the future, I'll continue to search including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before? I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave. Some things in this world can never be brought back. And everything that you feel is real and lasting. To be human is to live with imperfections.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing the past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until...
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal.
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick it up!
Why?
Because...
Then I...
A name is life's first gift. You didn't... The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new...
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a...
Have you... Are you sure? Oh, alright. If you say so.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet? Take your time. I don't need to see you again. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer, will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, even though the events have been erased from the world...
I see.
Huh? But...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it... What's that look for? That day will come. Alright. Goodbye, wise deity. And you...
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living in a...
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything... So we can finally go eat?
Thank you both. I hope you...
I've got it! I can end my novel.
You mean because everyone else in the story...
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in... Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, all these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied... Life is a story too long to be told.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, good. Huh? Look at them. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something?
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who...
Huh? Is there someone...
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. This is like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the
Who are you?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what... Anyway, it feels wrong just leaving it.